Okay, hi. If you've ever played a video game and said, those sounds are pretty cool, I wish I could make that, this video is for you. Today, I'm gonna dissect how we can remake some of the sounds from our favorite video games and actually show you guys how you can remake it yourself using either your own synth, your own DAW. We're gonna try and remake it. Today's game is Silent Hill 2. Now, this game I've played a long time ago. Haven't played the new one, and I'm gonna get to that one sooner or later. But for the time being, let's dive in and show you guys how we can remake some of the sounds that we like from our favorite video games. So before we start to make any sounds here, we have to identify which sounds we're going to be making, what do they sound like, and which sounds work together. In this scenario, we're going to be using the song Forest by Akira Yamaoka to replicate and reproduce some of the sounds that it has in there. Here we go. Okay, nice. So what I'm hearing right off the bat is a bunch of things. Number one, we have some keys, which is like a tined EP. I'm gonna put these guys right there so we can know what we're making. Then I'm hearing also some strings. I'm also hearing a little bit of a pad in the background, some wibbly wobbly pad. It's like a very noisy, shadowy kind of sounds you hear outside and deep in the forest kind of pad. Let's say like a dark pad. And finally, I'm hearing a little bit of a wind noise. Now, mind you, we're not focusing on the notation. The notation is a whole different thing. We're just trying to remake the vibe. So these are our four elements that we need to create. And first, we're gonna start with the keys. We need to find ourselves some keys. I'm gonna browse through the presets and see if we have any keys in here. Let's find something that we like. Okay, that's pretty close. I actually opted for this pad right here called Keysid, which does sound a little bit rough when you hear it the first time, but we can remove that noise simply by going over to the timbre. And I do believe, yeah, okay, the shape, noise, get that out. Make it more of a softer sound. And the second oscillator, I'm just gonna change to the 2 OPFM. And finally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the cutoff instead of a high pass to be a low pass. And basically about there should be fine. Change the reverb to be a very long one. Yeah, I like that. So I picked a tempo of 69 because... And fine, let's actually record this guy. Let's see what we can make. Yeah, that sounds good. Next, we're gonna go with the strings. The strings are actually a very difficult thing to replicate. 9 times out of 10, what I do is I just browse the patches, filter through them, and see if there is anything there that I can utilize. That actually is gonna do just fine. So we need to add a little bit of an older texture to them. So the way that we do that is we can utilize one of the effects here called Bit, I believe, Bit Crusher, yep. Turn that on. You don't want to add too much sauce to that. We're just going to keep it at, 2.83 dry wet. It gives a little bit of crinkle, a crinkle at the top. That's all we need. And I want to darken them just a little bit here. So let me try and see. Nah, that's too much. Just a little bit darker. That can sound good. So let's see what we're gonna make here. I like that. So the strings are not being too much in the way. It leaves a lot of space for the other elements to breathe and, be pronounced a little bit more. Next up, we got our dark pad, which is the most complicated one. I want to make sure that the pad is actually providing a little bit of extra ambience. So I have a sound in my head already of what I want to do. And instead of relying on the presets, I'm just gonna make it from scratch. I'm gonna take you guys with me for it. I'm gonna go through all the different wave types here and find something that I can play with. And typically I go with the wave shaper. And I know it sounds weird, but I really love this feature of the timbre, which gives it more of a weird cutting character. Let's change the cutoff to be right here. it has very much what's that song called? Everything in its copyright place. So super unison maybe? I think super unison is gonna make it too busy. Yeah, it's gonna make it way too busy. Okay, and I'm gonna pair that with a second oscillator that's going to be just noise. Cool, and we're gonna take it down low. Make the attack be a little bit slow. The release almost like there. I'm not liking what's happening with the timbre right now. Let's try something else. Nice. Okay, that sounds a little bit better. Although we could even like make it even more egregious and add a little bit of distortion to it, I guess. There we go. So now what I want to do finally is add a little bit of movement to the sounds. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of movement to the pad, make it so it's like almost sloshing around in the like low end there. So that's very like extra, too much. What I don't even know what the word I'm going for is. It's too much. So you just want a little bit. You just want just a small amount. Also, let's take that same LFO, have it assigned to the timbre. A little bit of motion there. And then we're gonna take LFO 2, change it to the pitch. Yeah, let's go. And finally, we're gonna top it all off with a little bit of wind noise. Now this is always my favorite because creating soundscapes and sound effects is always a moment of just sitting down and actually enjoying the process and enjoying the sound effects that you're making. So the easiest way to make wind for any type of media is to just grab a noise generator and a filter and then play with the cutoff. So if we go to type into our like oscillators here, make sure the second oscillator is all the way down. First oscillator, we're gonna go to noise. There's noise. Hold that note, take the cutoff. We don't want the balance of like the tone to come through. We just want the noise as it is. So and if you want to shape stuff on the Arturia, it's very simple. You go to the digital effects. We take a 3-band EQ just so we can control some of the high end to make sure it doesn't like hit us abruptly when we're like messing about with the filter. And if you want to add a little bit of punch to this, you can always just like add a little bit of a phaser or a flanger, and that kind of gives it a little bit of more motion. Maybe the distortion is going to help. So distortion always creates a kind of a rainstorm sound effect, in my opinion, right? It's something that's like very aggressive. So in this instance, let's just not use rain because I don't remember rain being in Silent Hill. It's just mainly fog. That's how you create your Silent Hill-like music for your video game or whatever media you want. If you want any of the stems for this track, make sure you join the Patreon. I make all of the stems that I create on these videos available on there. Or if you wish to support me another way, you can get yourself a K-By hat or a Flapyrus shirt. So I haven't played the new one yet, but whenever that comes out, I will be making a tune replace for it, and you can check that out right there whenever that video is up. A special thank you to all my Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube supporters for keeping the channel alive. If you want to be a supporter, make sure you subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, helps out the channel a lot. That's all the tunes for today. Catch you guys in the next one. Okay?